Chairman, thank you very much. Ranking Member, nice to know that we've educated you on the word drovers, and I look forward to you listening to me more often than you sometimes do. Let me welcome both of our nominees here today. Doctor and Commissioner, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on your nomination. For as long as I've been a member of the United States Senate and a member of the Banking Committee, I've had conversations with individuals who sat in the seats that you now sit in after they've been confirmed, mostly about the overregulation of community or what I call relationship banks. Our financial institutions in rural America are very special and important. For as long as I've been in Congress, I've been explaining to my colleagues that where I come from, economic development is often whether or not there's a grocery store in town. That is something that many in Congress don't understand, and certainly many within an administration would find, of course, there's a grocery store. I think these two things are related. What I've concluded over a period of time is that if we're going to have a grocery store in town, it's dependent upon a financial institution that understands the needs of their community and is not overly regulated in a way in which they cannot make a loan to a business that may not on paper be as financially capable as a regulation may require. This recently hit home with me again. In our state of Kansas, we had fires across a significant portion of grasslands, particularly in southwest and western Kansas. And the ranching community of Ashland, the county is Comanche. The county seat is a town of 900 people. That's the biggest town in the county. And 80% of the ground was burned, and most of the cattle died in that as a result. And what hit home with me is that those bankers responded to a crisis for those ranchers. The ranchers in the death of their cattle had no collateral, but the bankers continued to make loans, working capital, line of credit was kept open to keep the ranchers in business. We're in the process in the House in particular, but soon in the Senate, to debate a farm bill. We often talk about the farm bill as being a safety net for agriculture producers. It is. But so is our community or relationship bankers. In the absence of the ability to access credit in difficult times, either a result of a fire or low commodity prices, both of which we're having in Kansas today, it is our bankers who keep our farmers in business. It is our bankers who keep our ranchers raising cattle and earning a living. And so this is an important day for me, particularly with the Commissioner. You, Doctor, and I are going to have a conversation later today, and I'll pursue this in further detail. But I know that Ms. Bowman understands the circumstances that is not just a Kansas issue, but is across the country in rural America. And why this is so different, or what I expect to be so different from, I hope, both of you, is that every time I've had a conversation about the overregulation of a community bank, a bank, incidentally, that if was insolvent would cause no problems for the country, although significant challenges for the stock holders and the community, that I get what I would describe as mostly lip service. The Federal Reserve or the FDIC or the Comptroller of the Currency will tell me, well, we have an advisory committee. We take seriously our community banks, and yet it seems to me that there is an attitude among many of our regulators that it would be simpler to regulate a lot fewer financial institutions than the number we have today. And unfortunately, we're on that path, but that's not the solution to the future of the places that I represent. So I'd give you the opportunity, Commissioner, and Doctor, to tell me again how you see the role of regulators, FDIC, in your regulatory capacity in regard to financial institutions that, in my view, if we're not careful, become products, their lending practices become a product of a computer program that spews out whether the answer is yes or no, as compared to the relationship they have with their lenders, sometimes for generations. What you see in Ashland is a community bank owned by generations of a bank family lending to a set of people who are longtime generational ranchers. And the issue here for me is, what can you do to convince me that once you are a member of the Federal Reserve, you will advocate in a way different than just the idea that we're going to appoint an advisory committee to make certain we don't have overreach? Let me make a final conclusion before my 14 seconds concludes. I'm at a stage in life, Ms. Bowman, in which I know the previous generation. I now know people's parents better than I know, in this case, you. And I pay tribute to your mom and dad who are here. and to the effect, the consequence that their lives have had in the community of Council Grove and Morris County and the surrounding area in the Flint Hills. The joy of being a community banker today is a lot less than it used to be. The idea of the satisfaction that comes with a job is diminished, but your parents and your family have made a tremendous difference in a community in Kansas, and as a result of their profession, Council Grove and the surrounding communities of Dwight and all the places that you and I know have a brighter future as a result of the work of your mom and dad. And I'm very grateful to them, and for what I know about you, I would tell them thank you for raising a great daughter as well.
Thank you, Senator Moran.
Apparently, you don't have to respond.